Hello, welcome back. So, in the previous part, we have understood now how we can find out moment of inertia of any irregular shape, irregular boundary area. Now, there are some common areas, and we can easily remember or memorize their moment of inertia about any axis. Like, for example, if we have to find out moment of inertia of this circular sector about x-axis. Now, moment of inertia about x-axis can be written as 1 by 4 r to the power 4 in the bracket theta minus half sine to theta. Similarly, about y-axis also we can find out. So these are the relation of moment of inertia about x-axis and y-axis. Similarly, for this quarter circle, moment of inertia about this x-axis is 1 by 16 pi r to the power 4. Similarly, about y-axis is this one. Similarly, for the semicircular area, moment of inertia about x-axis is this one, and moment of inertia of this circular semicircular area is this one. For circle, moment of inertia of x-axis about x-axis and y-axis will be same. So that is the thing. Similarly, moment of inertia, we have just calculated this rectangular area. Moment of inertia about x-axis will be bh cube by 12. Similarly, for y-axis, it will be hb cube by 12. Or if we replace h by h with d, in that case, it becomes bd cube by 12 or db cube by 12. So whatever notation we use, we can have the formula. Similarly, for triangular area, moment of inertia about x-axis can be 1 by 36 bh cube. So these are some common area which have some defined moment of inertia. So now we will see what are the composite area. Although composite area I have already covered, I have already explained in the previous lecture while calculating the centroid for that. So composite area is basically a series of connected simpler shaped area. Like the composite areas can be connected, can be comprising a semicircular area or rectangular area or square area or circular area. So that is what I have shown you earlier also. So like you can see this cross-sectional shape of this looks like a T section, and T is basically a composition of two rectangles, one along the horizontal and one along the vertical. Similarly, this I section is comprising three rectangles, one along the vertical, two along the horizontal, or this composite area which is comprising some four type of area: rectangle, triangle, sorry, square, triangle, circle. Okay, so we will actually be calculating moment of inertia in the same way as we have calculated centroid in case of lecture 9 in the previous lecture. So provided the moment of inertia of each of these parts, if it is known, it then moment of inertia of the whole composite area can be calculated. Like in the previous lecture, we were, if we are able to find out centroid of some common area, then we can find out moment of inertia, sorry, centroid of the composite area. So in the same way, we can find out moment of inertia of any composite area because it is composed, it will be composed of some common areas. And if we know the formula, if we know the direct formula of those common area, then we can easily find out moment of inertia of the composite area. So what is the procedure of determining moment of inertia of composite area, that we will see. So our first step will be to understand what is the reference axis about which we have to find out moment of inertia of any composite area. So first step is to identify the composite parts. We have to first divide the area into composite parts. So for that can be anything. For example, this is a T section. So in that case, we have to first divide the area. So say we are dividing this area as rectangle 1, and this may be say rectangle 2. So our first step is to divide the area. Then second step is to use the parallel axis theorem. So how? As you can see, for example, if I have to find out moment of inertia of this T shape about its centroid. So the centroid of T shape say will be here, and if I pass an axis about X axis, say the x-axis is passing through the centroid, and if I have to find out moment of inertia of the whole T section about x-axis, so in that case what we are required to do is we have to first divide the area, and then we have to apply parallel axis theorem if the centroid of individual component is not matching with the axis about which we have to find out moment of inertia. So in this case you can see, as in rectangle 1, the CG of rectangle 1 will be somewhere here. So to find out moment of inertia of this rectangle, we have to apply moment of inertia, because we have to find out moment of inertia of this rectangle about this x-axis. So therefore, our first requirement will be to draw a parallel axis which is parallel to the required axis, and determining the distance. What will be the distance? So as you can see, this is a rectangle, so we already know that say I'm writing this as x dash dash. So we already know that moment of inertia of the rectangle about x, about its centroidal x-axis, it will be bh cube by 12. So if I write this as b and this value as h, so we can easily find out centroidal moment of inertia. And if we know the distance d and area of rectangle, we can easily find out moment of inertia of this rectangle. Similarly, for the lower rectangle also, lower rectangle will have CG say here, which is again not on the same line of the required axis. So this time uh, this axis can be for this rectangle, say this is x dash dash. So the same process we will apply here, distance d from this axis. So uh, that is the procedure of determining moment of inertia of the composite area. So in this, first we have to divide area into some common areas, and then we apply parallel axis theorem, because there are chances that those common areas centroidal axis will not be passing through the axis about which we are required to find out moment of inertia. So as written here, if the centroidal axis for each part does not coincide with the reference axis, the parallel axis theorem should be used to determine the moment of inertia of the part about the reference axis. And once we find out moment of inertia of all the common area, like I have explained in the previous slide, this is the T section, and say this is area 1, rectangle 1, this is rectangle 2. So once we find out moment of inertia, say about this axis of rectangle 1 and 2, then the next step is to add moment of inertia of this rectangle 1 and 2, and then we find out moment of inertia, that is the moment of inertia for that common composite area. So we will understand this with example. I will be solving some example. One more thing that we need to understand is that there may be chances that there may be a hole in the composite area. For example, there is a circular hole in this T section. So in that case, there will be 3 areas. One is rectangle 1, 2, and this time this will become 3rd. So we will be calculating moment of inertia of this 3rd circle also, but in the summation we will add moment of inertia of rectangle 1 and 2, and because this is a hole, we will be deducting moment of inertia of this circle. So this is as simple as that. So in the next part, we will take an example to understand how we can find out moment of inertia of a composite area. Thank you.